Hi, all. I will be going over the introduction and how to write it. It is due this week, so I want to make sure that everyone knows exactly what to expect and how to write it. So I'm going to share my screen and show you what you'll see. So this is the page that you need to turn your introduction in on. So it's 15 points, and I want to make sure I go over everything that you need to include. So there's 4 things you have to include in your introduction. And the reason why I have you guys split up all of these different parts is so that at the end, you don't have to turn them all in together. This is an 8-week course. It's going to be very, very fast. So I don't want it to be overwhelming. So the introduction is due this week, and the methods is going to be, I think, next week, and then everything else after that. You'll have a week to work on everything. So it gives you a chance to work on everything and focus your attention on one section of the paper. When it's time to turn in your actual research paper, you'll just be putting all the parts together and not really doing much other than switching and maybe changing some parts that I give you feedback on. So in an introduction, it's basically an introduction to the topic, right? So this is literally going to be an introduction to your article. You're going to make a statement of purpose because I need to know what the purpose of your paper is to. I know it's to discuss an article. So the purpose of the paper is going to tell me what the purpose of the article is. So for example, let's say I choose a topic with music therapy, right? That music therapy changes brain chemistry and therefore it reduces depression, right? So my statement of purpose will look something like the purpose of this paper is to find a new and unique way to treat depression. So that is what your statement of purpose should look like. Now, the main chunk and meat of your introduction part will be your literature review. And your literature review is going to be this entire part right here. When you choose an article, the reason why they do an experiment and go on with an experiment is that other people have done similar research or maybe the same. So at the beginning of your article, there will always be a literature review. That is their own introduction. Usually, that section of the paper is called Introduction in the article. You just read that, right? See what authors they cited, and you're just going to discover, or not discover, you're going to write and paraphrase what those previous discoveries are, why I guess they decided to go and do their experiment, right? What's different from the past research? What did the research tell them, right? So like that's all you're going to talk about. Literature review is just review of literature that the articles themselves use. Your tone should be as general as possible. Don't go into details. That is what the discussion section is for. So you have to give me an intro of what your topic is. Do not assume that I know everything. I mean, I do know everything, but you want to write as if you were talking to a reader who has no like previous background of biopsychology. So if there are jargon and terms that you normally wouldn't understand, you do have to explain them. So this is your chance to do that in the introduction. Make sure everything is as clear as possible. The other main thing, right, other than your literature review, statement of purpose is, I'm sorry, my friend's texting me, but already starting. Okay, so you want to mention the hypothesis. You have to mention the hypothesis. And a hypothesis is an educated guess, a testable guess, right? A prediction. So your article will have a hypothesis. It will 100% have a hypothesis because I made you guys choose articles that had experiments in them. So you're going to state what the hypothesis is. You have to include it. So the whole point of your paper, right? What are the authors hoping to find out from this study? What are they trying to like figure out, right? What's their hypothesis? Okay, they're looking at music therapy and depression. What are they hoping, right? What is their main deduction that they're trying to make, right? So it's basically figuring out why these authors are conducting their research in the first place. What are they hoping to find out? So just remember that is what you're going to, those are the 3 things you have to have in your introduction: a statement of purpose, literature review, and hypothesis. And I will be looking for all 3 of those, right? Each of those is 5 points. Each statement of purpose, 5 points. Literature review, 5 points. 5 points is hypothesis. So each one is 5 points. You have to have all of them. That's what makes up your 15 points. I will give you feedback, and that will be your chance to change things around. Your grade doesn't change. So if you get a 10 out of 15 and I tell you to fix stuff, it will stay at a 10 out of 15, but you'll have the feedback to fix it for the final paper. So let me know if you have any questions. Other than that, you can always email me. So yeah, let me stop sharing. But again, you guys know my email, everything like that.